After the success of Civil War, Alex Garland is back with Warfare, a brutal look at the chaos of the Iraq War. Now I'm gonna give you my full spoiler-free review, but before I do, if you've seen the movie, drop your thoughts down in the comments. Warfare is a story about the Navy SEAL Platoon Alpha 1 who are providing support for the US Marines in an operation in the Battle of Ramadi in 2006. So it's not just Alex Garland that's actually directing Warfare, Ray Mendoza is also directing and he also wrote it, but the thing about Warfare and Ray Mendoza is that the entire movie is based on his experience in the Iraq War. He was a US Navy SEAL and now he is bringing that experience to the big screen, and just knowing that when you go in and see this movie just adds that level of authenticity. Now, Warfare does not shy away from being the gritty, raw experience that you would expect to see in a war zone like that. You have Ray Mendoza bringing his story to life, but then you have Alex Garland, who's a great director, making that story very digestible and easy to view. They do this really good guerrilla style type of filming, just getting right in there with the camera, following these soldiers, following the story, and it makes you feel like you're in there with them. You're trapped in this building. That's another thing that this movie does really well. It makes you feel claustrophobic because they are trapped in this building waiting to be rescued because they are being overrun and they can't leave. So you feel like you're trapped in there in the midst of this chaos. And I don't know, I'm sure there have been, but I can't think off the top of my head of another movie that does that well as far as a war movie goes. If you can think of one, make sure you drop that in the comments. Another thing that Warfare does really well is build tension. There's a scene pretty early on into the movie where they're looking through the scope of a sniper rifle across the street and just scoping out the area. Nothing's happening, everything seems normal out there, everything's normal inside the building with the soldiers, but you can't help but feel that there's this sense of dread that comes over you in that entire long string of scenes. And the scenes that I'm talking about are about 10 minutes, maybe a little bit more, give or take a few minutes. But that's a long time to feel something, and that feeling that you feel that something bad's gonna happen just keeps rising as the scenes go on. And the use of sound in Warfare is probably the biggest thing that I wanna talk about. If you are on the fence to go see this movie, if you've been kind of mulling it over and you don't really know if you're gonna go see it, I urge you to go check this out in the theater because of the sound. When every bullet is flying, when every time they pull that trigger on any gun in any scene, you feel the impact of that bullet flying. You feel everything. You feel the footsteps, you feel it all. And I feel like that is such a massive part of Warfare because it is so, like I said before, gritty and raw. You want to feel those noises. You want to feel the impact of everything that's going around as far as the sound goes, as far as everything goes. And once again, you go see it in the theater, you got the biggest screen possible. It's the best viewing experience. So if you are waiting to go see it, I urge you to go check it out in the theater because of how well the sound is in this movie. You feel everything. But if not, make sure you don't watch it on a little iPhone whenever you do check it out. Make sure you put yourself in a great situation to watch this because it is totally worth it. Now, as far as the things that I didn't like about the movie, the pacing at the beginning, more so at the beginning of the movie, is a little bit long. It's about 30 or 40 minutes before anything starts going. But once it does get going, it's going. It's off to the races for the entire rest of the movie. But that first portion, not a lot happens. They're just scoping out the area. They're just stuck in the building. People are on the radios, the guys across, looking through the scope like I talked about earlier. And there's not really much going on, but at the same time, I do feel like that is exactly what would be happening if you were in their shoes. That's probably what happens on these missions, so it's not really a knock on that authenticity of it. But as far as a viewing of a movie, there were times in that beginning portion where I started to kind of drift a little bit out of it. It kept me in it, but you know what I'm saying. Now, the biggest issue that I have with Warfare are the characters. The characters themselves are fine, but there's no time. There is zero time to get to know them. Why do I care about this person or this person? There's not really any backstory to any of these characters. The only thing you're really going off of is that they care about each other because they are together, they're on the same team, and that's really all that we kind of get. And I wish that we got a little bit more of a backstory. I think that would have added to the storytelling and just kind of raised the stakes a little bit more of what's going on. Because of what's going on, just based off of, we know that they care about each other because they're a team. The stakes are high, we care. But I feel like there was another way to maybe even make us care even more and just make it even more intense than the movie already is, and it is very intense. Now my final thoughts on Warfare is it's an effective look at the Iraq War, and it drops you right into the middle of all of the chaos that you would expect to see there. And Alex Garland knows exactly what he's doing here to make us feel like this is authentic, it's real, and it's possible. And the film doesn't mess around at all. It does everything right to make you feel like you're in the room with this team, as if you're a part of this team. I just wish that they made a little bit more of a connection with the characters to make us care even more. So if you like war films or if you like action films, this thing has to be at the top of your watch list. If you enjoyed my review of Warfare, make sure you check out this video right here. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.